Hey guys, today I wanted to share with you what I was up to earlier today. If you have Sirius XM on channel 157, you could check out Sirius XM FC, which is the radio channel, goes through satellites. I'm pretty sure it's even in Canada as well. I think it's all of North America. And this was a broad conversation I've been on a few times. The hosts are really great. The show is called Grumpy Pundits. Former Manchester City and Tampa Bay Rowdies striker Rodney Marsh and Tommy Smith, and they kind of just go into it, no filter. I love that style of talking. It's a little bit of like pub talk, BSing with one another. And there were a few questions, general questions we got to, which you could see in the banner here, like are Inter favorites? Could Fiorentina actually be relegated? Why Roma? Well, I brought this up, why I think that Roma could win. And one of those questions led me to also what's wrong with the Azzurri was the last question we had here. And let me know if you know these guys or if you ever tune into Sirius. They are getting a Made in Italy channel or a show I should say, on Thursdays at 7, which is pretty cool. I'm hoping to be a guest on that one time. It'll be like the usual faces of Italian football. Summerton, who does a lot of the world feed. I know my buddy Marco Messina, who's become like a star now, which is crazy to see someone I've known for a long time have such success, but all of it's owed to him. And I think the host is Charlie Stilitano, who is the president of the team that plays in the Italian Riviera, where Zaniolo's dad is from. Name escapes me at the moment. Oh, and they've knocked Roma out of like the Coppa Italia a long time ago. Oh, it'll come to me maybe by the end of this episode. But we're talking about that. What could go better for the Azzurri, right? Hang with me as we go through these little things here. I'm not going to keep you too long. I don't think Inter are favorites anymore. Look, Lautaro's great. Barella's great. Bastoni, amazing on his day. But these three key players down their spine, I think they have a lot of issues. I just keep looking over to my side, make sure my son's not swinging from the rafters. Yeah, he's here. Whole household sick. Wonderful Thanksgiving. Looking forward to it. Anyway, I just don't think that they have it this year. Like they've kind of run out of steam. I wonder if a cycle is ending in a way. Mentally, I know Kivu steps in, right? That's different. What if it was still Inzaghi? And I would say, yeah, they have a shot at the Scudetto. I don't know if Kivu can keep them up for it. Think like Turam, they've got great players all around. I like the Serbian player, I think it is Susic. I think he's been really good for them. Wingbacks DiMarco, Dumfries. Like, what more could you ask for on a technical level? Just feel like something's off with the water this year for Inter. On to Milan. They win against all momentum. They launch a lethal counterattack. Pulisic has the most goal contributions over the past 3 seasons in Serie A. Phenomenal stuff. Magnan, who could be going to Inter at the end of the summer if they don't find a contract renewal. Hey, he saved that penalty. Like, give it to him. He stopped Dybala. And who did he stop just now? Was it Martinez? Right? I'm not thinking wrong. So big stuff from him. Huge. Max is one of those managers. Like, I like results, right? I don't ever want to play football like that. That stuff. And that just kind of Mourinho-esque ball. And Mourinho is honestly, he's a better manager for me. But you know what I mean? Like defensive, hit him on the counters, Catenaccio type ball. I think it's kind of whack. I think it's boring. I don't know if it can really get you to a championship. I mean, well, Max's players at Juventus, he won 5 straight. He won one with Milan, but he had superior players. I think that it's a little bit more level across the board now. Can Milan hang in there, especially with Europe? I mean, that's a question. I said that I think that they're going to be up there. I don't think that they win the Scudetto. I just don't. Who is going to? To me, it's Napoli or Roma. It's one of those two teams. Why? Of course, we all want it to be Roma. I think they're playing some of the best football in Europe. A lot of that is going to depend on the market. But we're seeing a lot of players, young and old. If you check my Instagram post, I was shouting out some of those names, right? New guys like Wesley Elinawi, they are fundamental to the way that this team plays. But then you look at players who've been recovered, like Selic, Mancini, Cristante, who's having his best season since he played for Gasperini at Atalanta like 8 years ago at this point. I don't know. Talking about something being in the water, that Gasparade, it might really be hitting. This might be true. I don't want to get like too excited because, but part of me is like, damn, should I be booking a ticket to Rome? Should I take my whole family? What do you think? Am I taking off time off of work, save my sick days? I don't know. So that's something I got my eye on, but I think some of that's going to be determined, and we're going to see how these two teams play going into Sunday, right? The Derby del Sole, Roma Napoli. Lukaku's back. Højlund has been good with link up. He cooled off a bit as far as numbers go, but I mean, geez, this is a team that can fire on all cylinders on their day. KDB, I think he's having some injury issues. And look, can Conte do it back to back with Europe? That's been his Achilles heel. So a space to watch there as well. Fiorentina, city that I actually did live in, not from Rome, not Roman by blood. Place I spent the most time in, Florence. Do I think that this Viola can really go down? Got good players, man. Like Moise Kean, he would cook under Gasparini. I don't like those catchy Generation Z phrases, but yeah, he would be a chef under Gasp. Mandragora, incredible goal that he scored, Rolando Mandragora. I wonder if he gets the Italian national team call up anytime soon, or if he gets more minutes. If he's been in the rotation, I'm not sure. Bologna, another one, very surprised. Did I expect them to be so far up? Not this far up. Orsolini playing great. Santiago Castro, I think he's on 4 goals now. To put that into perspective, the leading goal scorer only has 5. And I think that's Pulisic? No, it's Nico Paz, who also leads the league in assists with 4. So, by the way, we did talk about Como. And one thing I don't like about them is it's very fashionable. We talk about Como, the lake, and the players they have, the ownership behind them. Fabregas is super cool. It's super hip. You know what, though? Only 20% of their players are Italian. And I think when we talk about the Azzurri, one of those issues is teams relying and focusing on Italian youth. And that's not here. Why is Camarda shipped off to Lecce? Why is he not part of Milan's setup as we look further? Why have so many players been sold off? One of those is financial fair play. Another one is it being short-sighted. And I would say the third is not listening to Roberto Baggio. If you look at Rabona TV, my buddy Adrian, speaking of Adrian's, not this one, but he did an excellent video recently. You can find that. I think it's his last one, about how Baggio made this perfect pitch. Nobody at the FIGC listened to him. Gravina threw it out. They had all this money that was going to be allocated. What happened to the money? Your bet is as good as mine. I think we kind of probably can guess an answer as to what happened with it. But anyway, why is nobody listening? I don't know. But there's got to be some type of initiative, because Italy, will they get that qualification? This was the last thing we spoke about. I don't know. Wales and Bosnia, if they get past North Ireland, those are 2 tough teams. They're going to play their hearts out with nothing to lose against Italy. An ununified team, if you want to call it that, led by Gattuso, who apparently cannot coach to save his life because he doesn't have a good record. I don't rate him at all. I actually think Jose was the best pick that should have been. So, what do I know, right? Apparently, everyone in the FIGC thought Gattuso was the man. Something about missing 3 World Cups in a row might say that perhaps they don't know everything as much anymore as it might have, as much as they think they do. So it almost seems unbelievable that they could win, that they could miss out on 3 World Cups in a row. That would be beyond a national tragedy. It's a tragedy to miss 1 when you're Italy. 2 is unspeakable. 3 is Armageddon. And then I do think that would be the light at the end of the tunnel. Like if Italy do actually fail to qualify, then maybe you'll finally see some change, and only with that. But I think, of course, we don't want it to get to that. We don't want them to have to bow out of a 3rd competition just so things change. Why does it have to get to that point? All right, my last I think that might be it. It's probably time to go. I'll talk to you guys soon.